Hey, what's going on YouTube? Firstly, I'd like to start out by saying I hope everyone is safe and in great health. Ever since this virus broke out, I've just been going to my job and coming straight home. Haven't really been doing anything in the weekend, just been staying home and building things. I had something I wanted to share with you guys. I picked up this slab. I thought it was really interesting because it's got this void running all the way down the center of it by nature. I'm not sure how it got there or why it's there, but I feel like I could turn it into something pretty cool. So as you can see here, I have already put a form up, and with the same on the other side. I just took the Tyvek tape and put it on a piece of cardboard and hot glued it there. There was also a lot of holes on the bottom of the slab, and I did the same on the bottom to stop any leaking there. And you've probably noticed that this looks pretty weird. Last night I took some clear epoxy with a paintbrush and just kind of went through there with it to kind of seal it, to minimize any leakage and to also minimize bubbles coming up when I do the actual pour itself. So yeah, I figured to go ahead and do all that preparation prior to starting the video, because chances are you've seen it all before, and I know what you guys really want to see is the pour. So let's start mixing it up. Alright guys, so as usual I'm using the deep. It's just 3 parts resin, 1 part hardener. So I'm gonna fill these cups with 3 equal parts of resin and one of them the same amount of hardener. Okay guys, so I went up to this line in these 3 cups, that was resin, and this cup hardener. I did that 3 times and I dumped everything in there. So now I'm just gonna take my my drill, my attachment, mix it up real good. Okay guys, so I'm pretty comfortable with how I've got it mixed up. I may have to mix more, but that's okay. As long as I don't mix too much, I'm happy because I don't want to waste any of this. I'm going to throw in some sapphire blue and some ghost diamond blue. Okay guys, the pouring is complete. That's gonna look real pretty. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, come back in a couple hours, add some swirls to it, maybe hit it with the torch a few more times, and I'll keep you updated. Alright guys, so it's about 5 days since I poured the slab. I've now brought it outside. Here's actually the bottom of it. I'm gonna plane it or flatten it with my router and my router jig. I'm not gonna get into a whole lot of that because I'm assuming most of you have seen it before. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing the bottom first, and then I'm gonna flip it over and do the top. Guys, I got both sides of it planed, flat, and you can probably tell why I do this outside and not inside my shop. It makes a horrible mess. So unfortunately, when I was flattening it, I found some low spots, some little holes, not a lot, just a couple of them. So I'm gonna have to fill those back up with crafting epoxy. I don't really have to use the deep pour epoxy for that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fill those up, and then we'll sand all these lines out, make it real shiny. And yeah, that's where we're at now. All right guys, I have now sanded off all the lines from the router. Actually sanded the bark off the sides too. And I've drawn these lines here on the edges to where I'm gonna take my skill saw and trim that off because it's kind of messy on the edge, just to clean it up, maybe a 1/4 inch off each side. So for this next part, I just mixed up some crafting epoxy. I was gonna do the flood top with it. I didn't have any amazing clear cast made by Alumilite at the time, so I just went with this. I would, however, recommend amazing clear cast by Alumilite over anything else for this purpose. So as you can see, I just kind of pour it out, nothing fancy, doesn't have to look nice, and then I just float over it with my little scraper tool. You don't really have to worry about making it look nice when you do this because the stuff settles on its own. It will do that by itself. This part of the project is what makes the whole thing just explode. You can see all the details. It makes the color of the epoxy pop really well, and it also makes a really shiny, reflective glass-like effect on top of the table. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I let that sit overnight, and the next day I came back and it was fully cured, looking real beautiful. I put some hairpin legs on it because they were easy to get and they're pretty strong. If you like my video, guys, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. I would really appreciate it. And if you like watching these, you can check out my channel and see more. Until the next one, later guys.